Thank you for watching this episode of the Jersey Shore podcast. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer Damon Galdo talked about, then send the Jersey Shore podcast to others. The Hammer also looks forward to your comments during upcoming episodes. Tonight's Jersey Shore podcast starts now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Psyche, and welcome to the Jersey Shore podcast. Clearly, I am not Damon Galdo. Today, he is out and about politicking. Right now, they are interviewing the candidates for the New Jersey State GOP leader, and hopefully, they'll get some good content out there and make some good decisions. Today I was looking around to see what it was that we were going to talk about, and all I could really find was a lot of Somali fraud going on all across the world. I know we've been talking about it, but let's start off real quick. I also found a letter from General Mike Flynn on Twitter that he addressed to Donald Trump, Mr. President. So we'll start with reading that, and then we'll go from there. Dear Mr. POTUS, I know you are listening to We the People. This message is sent on behalf of a very frustrated 79 million Americans who voted for you and millions more who refuse to be ignored. Therefore, we are designated 2026 as the year of accountability. Why now? Because the country is at a breaking point. Our freedoms are being chipped away in plain sight. Our government has grown bloated, arrogant, and unaccountable. Public trust has not merely declined, it has been obliterated. Power has been stripped from citizens and hoarded by bureaucrats, agencies, and unelected elites. Those who call themselves leaders protect each other's while the American people pay the price. Civic duty has vanished from the classrooms, replaced by obedience and ideology. The family, once the backbone of this nation, has been systemically weakened and devalued. Enough is enough. At its core, this is not partisan. All Americans are demanding accountability. We the people reject the lies, the gaslighting, the censorship, and the deliberate erosion of our lived reality over the past decade. We remember what was done. We know who did it. We are no longer willing to move on without consequences. The message is unmistakable and unstoppable. Americans demand accountability. So, Mr. POTUS, the question for you to answer is simple. Will you stand with We the People, or will you protect the system that failed us? Make 2026 the year of accountability. We will stand with you through thick and thin like we always have, but you must respect our wishes. If you don't, as our founders warned, the deep state concentration of power in government will lead to greater corruption and eventual tyranny, and your legacy and history will be tarnished beyond repair. Respectfully, one of the 79 million voters. I feel like that was a very powerful letter that was written. And, that's how a lot of Americans are feeling right now, myself included. I'm feeling that too. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's bring our guest, Nate, up on the stage here. Nate Thurber, my favorite person. Nate, there he is. How are you, my friend?
Hey, how you doing, Pizzle? Great to be here with you, bro.
What'd you think about that letter, bro?
He hit it right on the head, especially for you Trump supporters, or excuse me, Trump voters, excuse me. Very disappointed. People don't believe in our systems, our government. They don't have trust and faith in the institutions that are supposed to benefit us. Everything has become bloated. All of the waste and fraud that I know that we're going to get into later on tonight is just outrageous. It's just the amount of money that's just blown here, there, all over the place. But if you go to any one of our downtown cities, especially here in Philly, it doesn't look good. It does not look good. But yet there's money going all over around the world for everything else. But here in America, people are just not. The government is not serving us, and especially what Flynn was talking about in his letter there. I guess that was a tweet or something. But when he said that, it's just like no,
I thought that was powerful, man. I thought that really hit home. And it's for everybody. It's not just Republicans. It's everybody, man. It's anybody who loves America. This is what we want. We are dying for accountability.
Well, I just assume all the Democrats, but I'm assuming they're already upset anyway that Trump's already in.
You're not wrong. It doesn't matter what he says or does.
Because now the 79 million that did vote for him, now they're sort of kind of not all of them, but no, there are a lot of them are disgruntled, like yourself, as you said. No.
Yeah. So we'll move on to it. But all right, bro, listen, let's go ahead to segment 1. We're going to talk about the Somali fraud. All right. D-Dubs, did you want to go ahead and play that first clip?
FBI agents carried out boxes of files from Ultimate Home Health Services in Bloomington Thursday morning. The state suspended its license this month after discovering alleged fraud in its Integrated Community Supports Program, or ICS. The door is broken there, and federal prosecutors say Minnesota's entire Medicaid program seems broken.
What we see in Minnesota is not a handful of bad actors committing crimes. It's a staggering industrial-scale fraud.
Prosecutors charged 6 people with fraud Thursday, but none yet in ICS. They say Minnesota did a bad job of creating guardrails, so the state became a target for fraud, even by people from out of state. For the first time, they charged 2 men accused of fraud tourism, coming from Philadelphia, setting up shell businesses, then billing Minnesota from back home. In all, the state has declared 14 programs as high risk, and those programs have cost $18 billion since 2018. So how much of that is fraud?
That's the $18 billion question. The answer is far too much.
So far, prosecutors have proved about $350 million in fraud, but they say that's just the tip of the iceberg. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said a significant portion of the $18 billion could be fraudulent.
When I say a significant amount, I'm talking on the order of half or more, but we'll see. When I look at the claims data and the providers, I see more red flags than I see legitimate providers.
Important to note, they say there is no evidence that any of the people they've charged with fraud have been radicalized, and no money has gone to any terrorist organization.
There you go, buddy. What do you think? $18 billion question.
Well, I mean, look, I have a lot of thoughts on it. One, I see the FBI taking out a lot of boxes. Maybe they'll do a bunch of investigations. Will we ever see any arrests?
We saw think? 6. We saw a whole whopping 6 people get arrested. It's not the 100,000.
Yeah. It's just like adding on to what I was saying earlier about like all this bloatedness and what Flynn was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. If we're sending money all over the place, it's going to create a place where people are like, hey, look, F it, I'm going to get mines. If we're sending money here, we have $1 trillion military budget. This country's getting foreign aid for that. This country's getting foreign aid for that. Everybody's getting billions for everybody, for their wars and everything like that. It's going to create a situation where, you can see people like, hey, F it, everybody's getting something. I might as well wet my beak. I might as well get something. All right. And that does nothing.
That's what we're seeing. Play the game.
It just makes the situation entirely worse. It's just more money wasted, more money spent on things that shouldn't be spent on. Again, we'll see. Like the report said, no investigation has been done, and honestly, with everything, just going back to the lack of faith in government and institutions. Like, is anybody going to get arrested? That's something that the Trump administration was sort of kind of promising. All right, coming in, not necessarily arresting people, but yeah, we're going to get rid of the deep state. No, we're supposed to get rid of the swamp. We're supposed to do this, Epstein, all that shit. Nothing. No arrests. No arrests. Never. So
I think that's what people are really feeling right now. I think that's what people are really feeling is the lack of accountability, which is why I read that from General Flynn, right? No. Because 2026 has to be the year of accountability, or look, we're gonna get into it later, but the midterms are right around the corner. Like, bro, I don't think it looks good.
Yeah, I think we can push that off to the side, but just for as far as the fraud and everything that's going on, and what's going on up there, it's just not good. It's when you see Americans who are struggling, all right, why aren't they getting that money? All right, why aren't they getting access to things like this? If they can, I don't know. I heard Skid Row's getting bigger out there in LA. I believe all the places, with homeless problems are just getting worse. All right, I see it on my drive. I see it on my drive into Camden.
I think we're about to start seeing it more here. That's what I was going to say. Is I feel like look, with the home prices going up, rent prices going up, everything's going up. Now, Trump did just come out and say things are starting to slowly come down. And I mean, he was exaggerating a little bit, because I haven't felt it yet in my pocket, but I mean, we also live in New Jersey.
Everything's great. Everything's perfect. Everything's the greatest economy ever. The prices are going down. No, they're not.
Well,
really not.
So to be fair, in other parts of the country, gas is down to like $2.50 right now.
Gas has moved down. Like it was, I'm pretty sure it was over $3. To be fair, it was over $3 with Biden. It's like it was just like 281 at my local Wawa.
So I've been sitting right
but that
here.
is the case. Like, some things are down. You got to give credit where credit's due. So you're right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So when I was looking at gas since he took office, we were in the 309s, right? Maybe got to 3, back up to 309, and it stayed there. Even as people are saying the prices are coming down, I'm actually starting to see them come down. It's like 279 around here nowadays, which so we are starting to see it. I hope over the next couple months we start to see it even more, because now we're built. Because look, you can't fix Rome in a day, right? I mean, they've had decades to destroy our economy, destroy everything here. So, it takes time for these prices to come back down. And I think he is working on it.
Yeah, well, you mentioned what's called like home prices. One thing I think he could do to help get those down, stop letting these private corporations, these major funds buy private homes, single family homes. The Blackstones, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards. I was just watching something. There's entire neighborhoods being built where like single family big homes. I'm not talking about townhomes or row homes or anything like that. With a nice yard, all that in the suburbs. And more than half of the neighborhood is owned by one of those hedge funds. And they're more than half of those houses are for rent. All right, not to buy, not to own, not to have that wealth, that actual to build wealth. To get
supply and demand. Supply and demand is always how that works.
And when they do things like that, they can artificially pump up the prices. They can pump up the prices to a neighborhood. I know our cousin Steve knows all about it. He talks about how they can do that, because they can just look, this is how much this one's worth. And look, we own them all. Say he knows it better than I do. I'm not a realtor.
Well, no, but I mean, look, when you own the majority of it and you can, inflate prices or do whatever. I mean, right now, everybody, look, the homes were always supposed to be, the market is whatever people will pay for it. Well, right now you have Zillow coming out and telling people what their homes are worth.
Yeah, and to own a home, that was the strength of the middle class. It's to own your own home. That was, from there, you, like I said, you could build your wealth. And they're able to price people out. Like starter homes, your small homes are being priced out of, especially young families and things like that. And the younger generations for sure.
Well, look, have you heard of this guy, Nick Shirley, bro? Because Nick Shirley is apparently a 23-year-old independent journalist. Okay.
Only recently have I heard of. To be
only fair, recently because he's new. He's breaking the mold here. So, D-Dubs, let's play this Nick Shirley clip. I believe he's next.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. And if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working. Midday, children should be in here. And this place is licensed for 99 children. And this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell
learning right. It's the leering. The leering center.
That's not good. No, I'm saying.
Now, I watched his full 42-minute video that he put together, his little documentary. He went around with another guy to a dozen or so of those, child care, adult care. They even have autism centers, right? All these things out there. None of the doors were opened. They were all blacked out. There was no children anywhere. You go in to try to talk to people. They say, sorry, you're not welcome here. Get out. He says, oh, my little Joey needs a daycare center. I need him in daycare. Oh, not here. Get out. Bye. And it's just like, so he counted up in one afternoon. They went to a dozen of these joints, $110 million, no children around, not providing any service.
Yeah. I did see the 42-minute thing. I didn't watch it. I saw. I've seen clips of it, and I gotta be honest. It's not a good look. It's not. And if people just want to, investigate it, it does not mean that you're racist. Just be like you said in the thing, like the facts are the facts. If it happens because of the Somali community or happening within the Somali community, look, that's just the facts of the case. They're breaking the law. It's fraud, whatever have you. All right, then it should go through the judicial system. That's what we have our system for. Like, we want to have faith in our institutions. That's what should be happening. I don't know. I know Tim Walz out there, Minnesota's it's been kind of wild with him and his administration, and he's been involved in some weird things out there, to say the least. But like this is a major one. It is. It does not look good. Especially when you can't even have spelled learning right now. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe there's editing. I know that's probably. I'm trying to think of the excuses that the left might come up with on why it did that.
No, I think they did it. I think they did it exactly how they wanted. The leering center. They're just leering.
But like, just look, if you're just being objective, like, look, that's wrong. That's stealing money. It is. That's breaking the law. It shouldn't be done. Fortunately, we are the ones who are paying for it. It is taxpayer money. So no, and that's not what it should be going to. It's not,
because it's coming through government agencies. They are federal and they are state, right? It's a combination of both.
No.
Okay. And they're supposed to have auditors and people paying attention to this and making sure the money is, and they're just not doing their jobs, Nate. Once again, accountability, bro. I'm so tired of the lack of accountability around here.
I'm an accountant. All right. So I know that. All right. That hurts. That hurts. And it's not hard. I'm sorry. It's not that difficult. It's fun to track money like that. And you can see where everything's going. It's not that difficult. Any trained accountant can do it. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not good, bro. It's not. And that's the main thing. Accountability. Will there be any? Will there be? I know that's going to try to scream racism. You got to stop doing it. Like the boy cried wolf at this point.
There was one clip in that where they went to one of these joints and there was a lib out there with her phone out recording saying, "Don't open the door. ICE is here. Don't open the door. ICE is here." He's like, "Dude, where's ICE? I'm a 23-year-old kid with a camera. Like, what are you talking about, ICE?"
I guess.
And they tried talking to her, and she's just numb. She's brain dead to the whole thing.
Well, they don't want that. Well, that's unfortunately. Like, look, because it's not really. They don't want to have that objective conversation with you, because I think we can all agree it's objectively wrong. All right, there's a daycare center. There's no kids there, and they're getting what was like 1.1 million. At least that one center he was at.
Each one was getting like $1 to $3 million a year.
Well, you say, yeah, I know it's 42 minutes. He went to a lot. I think it totaled like over 100 million if you looked at all of them. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch it. But no, it did. Look, that is a lot of money. All right, that is them going around, and that is fraud, and it's not racism. That's why that's the main thing. It's like I hope the left don't try to hide behind that. Unfortunately, we know we will, because we're in the culture wars and everything wants to be divide and rule. All right, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, the culture war. You're absolutely right. I mean, in that regard.
But even like this, this creates resentment against white people. Let's keep it real. We're going to see that, and some white people are going to see that and be resentful. Like,
well, I saw this video of this young Somali guy saying, "Get out to work and pay for me." I mean, look, we don't want to go that route. We didn't want to play that video.
Yeah, but, I know. Because I think around too. Because I know it's going to add to the racial tension, even though we're sitting there talking about it now. But like, no, man, it's got to be unity. It's got to be coming together. And what's fraud is fraud, regardless of who's doing it, what race, whatever creed, whatever have you. It doesn't matter. Fraud is fraud. All right.
Well, where I'm at, man, is if you don't want to
look, it does need to get investigated. Let's all be clear. Alleged at this point. We saw the boxes of the FBI taking something out. Well, Cash Patel
you said it with that too, bro. Look, we've lost faith in the FBI at this point. Half Americans. It's like it was definitely gone before that. I don't know if they cleaned it out. If it's still the same FBI with Cash at the top, I don't know what that looks like. But I just,
I don't know, unless they had recording of like a higher up official. I doubt they'd have like a recording of Tim Walz saying, "Yes, make sure that this fraud goes through." Like, something so incriminating that like there would be no doubt. So I doubt they'd have anything like that. So any higher up official they're not going to get caught with anything, or they're not going to get charged with anything. They'll say that maybe some lower level people are like, oh yeah, Susie over there in accounting stamped it through.
Susan in accounting.
Yeah, so but she could take the fall for it. Did she have a MAGA sign once? I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's it, right? Because it's always MAGA. You know, they're the most dangerous group to democracy is the MAGA Republicans. You remember Joe Biden, right over here in Philly.
But it's like, look, if our democracy is based upon our trust and our faith in our institutions, it's stuff like this that, again, is just having us lose faith. It's what Flynn said to Trump. It's the same thing. Does our vote even matter? Does it even matter if we go that whatever what we vote for, what they say that we're going to do, it makes us want to vote for them, then they don't do it. So what's the point? Whether it's a Democrat or Republican, I'll crush on both of them. But like, it's like, you know, it doesn't. Why
I'll agree with you there, man. Look, the Democrats, I don't trust them for anything because they are the globalists, they are the elites, they are that whole the whole group of them. I don't know if there's a good one over there, maybe Fetterman. You know what I mean? But you know,
know what a woman is. That's my man. It's hard for them to say what a woman is.
Yeah,
that makes it very difficult for you to be like, oh yeah, the Democrats are reasonable. All right, it's a female. You know, they have a vagina. Like a real one.
That's it, right? So you look at that. I mean, you can't trust anything that they do, right? But it's the Republicans, bro. Look, you want to believe that we're doing the right stuff, that we're trying to do the right stuff. That's why I joined the Republican Party, because of the messaging, right? It's like, man, look, we got to bring back families, you know, and bring back sanity.
They had good message. I mean, they got at least last year in 2024 election, but this past year in 25 New Jersey. Fortunately, brother, like I was your treasurer. We didn't go. We did it by the books. Everything was clean, but we didn't.
We're
going
to get into that in segment 3, I think, here. But you know, that's where we're at. All right, D-Dubs, let's take a break real quick, and then we'll hit Hammer 2.
The APN's The Pulse podcast is hosted by Alexandra Levine, host of the Alexandra Levine Live podcast. Damon Galdo, host of the Jersey Shore podcast. And Seth Eisenberg, host of the Conservative Corner podcast. Also, there will be 2 additional guests on every episode. So please like, subscribe, and then share this episode on your social media accounts that The Pulse is live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, everybody, we're back. So look, I went ahead and dubbed this one as Not Just Minnesota, right? We're going to continue on from where we were, you know, in the first segment, but it's all over the place, you know. So I found this video online of this woman begging Nick Shirley to come and do the same reporting. D-Dubs, can we go ahead and play that clip, please?
Nick Shirley, I hope you see this video. Please come to Columbus, Ohio. The reporting you did in Minnesota was amazing. Thank you for that. And if you come to Columbus, Ohio, you will find the exact same fraud. You will see the exact same things. Daycares everywhere. The home health care. I mentioned that in my video. I do not have your bravery to go out here and knock on doors like you did. I don't even want to leave my room right now. Okay? But you could come here and do what needs to be done. Please, please investigate. Please talk to our government officials. And you see how the police escorted you out of that building? The Columbus police are on the same take, I am sure. Allegedly. Let me say allegedly before I got the Columbus police coming after me, as well as the Somalis. It's a lot. In the meantime, please come here and investigate. You will find the exact same things. And the rest of the country needs to know that it is real. Thank you for all you are doing. And please, please, please stay safe.
So that please stay safe. You know, I also just read that after this, as I'm doing this research into this topic, the left and immigrants are already trying to come after Nick Shirley. So, you know, imagine that. You blow the lid on all this fraud and they're already coming after it. But that's Columbus, Ohio. You know, and And it's the same type of thing. And we know that Ohio had, all the Haitian immigrants, right? Previously, Trump famous, reading the cats and the dogs. And, I mean, this is, look, immigration is a problem.
It was good times. Good times. It was fun.
It was funny, man.
I'm sure. Look, I'm sure you can go to every immigrant community or whatever. It doesn't even have to be, but like I'm sure you can find plenty of fraud all over the place. And but I thought that was another disappointing thing with the administration. I thought that Doge was supposed to clean things like this up. All right, now granted, I know something like Minnesota had something to do with state. Was that state funding? I know it's both state and federal. So obviously Doge could only handle the federal part of it. But I don't know. I would like to see obviously the more exposure. I think the independent journalists. I think that 2026. I think that those will continue to grow. The corporate media is not it's not trust, especially not with our generation and younger. Again, just another institution that we just do not trust anymore.
Mainstream media, yeah, that's out the door, man. People aren't buying that. If you watch anything left wing.
More investigative, independent journalists like this, going out there, you got to get, you boots on the ground. Everybody has a phone. I mean, everybody's phone. Everybody's camera. Everybody can be their own reporter. Like I said, I didn't see that, but you just found that video on what, X or Twitter? Or
on X, I just was scrolling through Twitter earlier today, man, and that's where I came across all this stuff.
Look, man, I know it's hard. You need to have more courage. If you know it's out there, you know where it's at, and you want to be.
I'll tell you, listen, it does take a specific mindset to be able to go do that, right? To walk into the lion's den and record and ask questions. And, especially nowadays, you never know what's going to happen. They're releasing dangerous criminals all over the place, right? I mean, there's cultural divides through all of this. I mean, like we always say, these people aren't coming and assimilating, so they're continuing what they do in their countries. And
apparently they're sending a lot of that money, at least the Somalis in Minnesota. Apparently they're sending a lot of that back to Somalia.
Yeah.
But now you know what though, and I want to apologize to her. Not everybody does have that courage, but she had enough courage to ask for help.
No, agreed.
That's courage in and of itself.
Look, it takes courage to just get on here and do the podcast, right? Just talk in front of people.
Yeah, getting out there, just recording herself and saying that, So kudos to her. But,
absolutely. But
you can do that in a lot of places. It's crazy. With the past administration, the 10 to 15 million people that we know about that came over. They allegedly were placed into swing states. All right, so places like Ohio comes. I bet you like Charlotte, North Carolina, places like that. Other swing states. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of the same things happening there.
Well, a lot of blue states too, right? Because the blue states are the sanctuary states.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they'll take a lot. Like we say right here in New Jersey, we have at least 1 million, undocumented. That's the number that's going around. And, that's 1/10 of our state population.
Yeah.
I mean, 1/10 shouldn't be here. I mean, that's a big number.
Yeah.
That's a big number. Let's hear some more about Ohio. Go ahead, D-Dubs, play that next one.
So these individuals tried to report the fraud that was happening in Ohio and then eventually came to me to say that we're watching providers rubber stamp paperwork for home health. So in Ohio, and there's many states like this, Pennsylvania and other states too, where you can go in and you can say my aging parent needs a home health care and I want to provide it. So the state will, as long as a doctor has approved it, continue to pay you. It could be for 10 hours, 12 hours, up to 24 when it's critical care. So you could sit at home without caring for an elderly parent who really doesn't need it, make about $75,000 to $90,000 a year. Now you add two parents, that's $180,000. Now you add your in-laws, $250,000. You continue to add this and you wonder, what are the services being provided? So a lot of providers came and said, fraud is occurring because we said we weren't going to rubber stamp this paperwork. So they went to other providers. Their home healthcare network saying, we'll make it worth your while. Well, sounds like a kickback to me. So we really need to investigate the Medicaid system and how much it's increased since the Somalian population came and who really needs critical care, because that's meant for our disabled, our elderly, and people who really need it. not to just live off our system. And that's what's happening in Ohio. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's despicable. But authorities are now looking at it from the Attorney General's office to the U.S. Attorney's office. I flagged them all because this is Ohio tax dollars and we have to take it seriously. I'm tired of people telling me, well, this is the way it's always been. It's subjective and we can't really check. No, you can. Audit America, audit Ohio now. And I'm pushing for that in every.
And there you go. You know, once again, bro, people are out here working the system while we're out here busting our asses trying to make ends meet.
Well, I feel like I'm an idiot. Like, you know, why are we doing it? You know, I feel like a dummy. Like, bro, making 90,000 just to stay. Like, look, I love my mom. God rest her soul, you know. But, like, you know, so you telling me I could have sat at home and took care of my mother when she was dying from cancer and just made more than I'm making? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, bro, it's gaming the system.
So, like, the people who are rubber stamping these things, like, that's what I'm talking about. She mentioned in there, like, well, this is coming. Well, we got to investigate Medicaid, something like that. That's federal, right? Was that done by the state level? How was that?
So I believe
I don't know.
I believe it's both. I think there is a federal but there's definitely a state. 100% there's a state. Okay. You know, but yeah, I mean, that's. And we saw this too with lefties as well. Okay, they'll have one lefty sitting at home that, oh, you know, I'm depressed and you know, I'm anxious. I can't go to work, so they'll get a you know, Social Security, and then her, you know, her lesbian, you know, significant other, okay, will be her caretaker at home, and now they're both getting paid to stay home and do nothing. I watched videos on that too a while back. I mean, it's just it's unfortunate to see people gaming the system like this, and they need to clean it up, bro. This is the accountability that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think, you know, and I don't, like I said, I feel like a broken record, but, like, you know, people see that, you know, everything else, everybody else is getting all this money, there's billions of dollars going everywhere. Fuck it, FSI.
We're all out here struggling.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just like, why?
And we're all out here struggling.
Be a sucker? Why be a sucker and go work for the machine? Where I can just sit on my ass and get paid and do nothing.
And do nothing. Smoke weed and play video games all day. I mean, it's ridiculous. But yeah, you see it now. So it's all healthcare stuff, right? Like, you notice that's how they're really tricking the system right now, is this healthcare stuff. And I'm waiting to see if Trump can, you know, repeal the Obamacare, okay, and give the money back to you know, the people like he was talking about, you know, and go buy your own private insurance.
Well, I know it's called definitely not in a single payer, something different. But, you know, Obamacare, no, it's basically, from how I've heard it described, it's basically like a handout to the insurance companies, and that's
they get to charge whatever they want.
And that's sort of kind of what's led to the reason why healthcare's prices are through the roof.
And the quality,
you know, everybody blames the pharmaceutical companies, but it's really, you gotta go above them. This the insurance companies is sort of what dictates everything. That sort of, it's a pyramid being. And what's called the insurance companies would be at the top, and it's dirty game.
It's a dirty game, bro. And you know, this right here, it goes hand in hand with things like student loans, right? As soon as the government gets their noses in things and they say, listen, this is what you have to do, and we're gonna go ahead and they start funding it, you know, is now you can charge whatever you want. It's like, look, they always used to joke, toilet seats cost what, $30,000 or something. You know what I mean? And that's what we're looking at right now, right? As soon as they get involved, they can do whatever it is that they want, and there's no pushback.
No. Yeah. It's like, you know, somebody's wetting their beak and nobody cares. It's like, and it's just like, you know, I don't want to come down on a person who is just rubber stamping it, because, you know, I work in an office. So I know what it's like to just have, you know, stacks of paper coming across your desk. But, you know, you need better accountability. It's just, it can't go on. It can't go on. Like, seriously. America, like, I don't know how much we're in debt, or the debt just keeps on going. We're like 38 trillion now, 39
Something
trillion.
like that, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Just you want to talk about cutting costs, and we're seeing just massive fraud and waste across the board. I don't want to pick on the Somalis. I'm sure there's some fat Republicans who are taking advantage of the system as well. All right. But, like, it's just because it's across the board, it's like it's just adding to our debt. At some point, this is like this is not sustainable. All right. At some point, it's all gonna come crashing down. And it's like, unless, like, look, we take these steps back. I know Trump keeps talking about the tariffs are going to cut back on you're going to be able to cut back on the debt. or cut into the debt with all this. We're making so much money. We're making more tariff money than we've ever made before. But like
his favorite word is tariffs.
38 trillion at some point, bro. These are just imaginary numbers on a screen. All right. The amount of zeros that are there, and just the amount of actual money, like it is, like it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, and it just keeps going up. I mean, as you know, and that's why I get upset when people talk about like Thomas Massey, who is just fiscally responsible, bro.
Yeah.
That's all he's trying to be fiscally responsible because it's gotten so crazy out of control.
He votes
You know,
no
and
on
they come at him like he's the worst thing, you know, ever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how they criticize it. He's like, you know, he says no on everything. Yeah, because they just want to spend any more money. Because we ain't got no more money to spend. You're like
I would much rather see us go after all this fraud and abuse. I would much rather see us cut that out and then repurpose that money into the things that we do need. Because look, I'm not opposed to the government trying to help with healthcare or help with this or that, right? I'm like, there's some wiggle room in there. I'm flexible. We can talk about it, but I need you to actually perform the job.
How much?
I need you to perform the job, and they're not.
No, not at all. And I was sitting there daydreaming, thinking like, you know, 'cause I got work in Camden, I go in there every day for work, and like, you know, how much it would take, like seriously, like let's just say like $1 billion to fix up all the abandos. Let's just say we had $1 billion, and to get to, you know, some construction companies, some, you know, people that can go in there who flip homes, whatever, go and renovate, put all the nicest stuff or whatever. And all of the homes, it's not necessarily all the nicest, but you know, mid-range, we don't need like top shelf. Right? We do gotta. Is going to have, let's save a little bit of money, but you know, have everything is like with all the vacant homes in there. How much would it really cost? Like, what's the dollar amount to that? All right, is it really? We giving billions of dollars, and that was just what $18 billion worth of quote unquote fraud.
Yep, the first one, yeah.
I something tells me just from, you know, just a simple numbers person, and just looking at, all right, what's it going to cost to just we get this home and just to flip it, do everything inside that needs to be done, all the wiring, whatever, the walls, the painting, instead of the new windows, the doors, et cetera, like how much does it really cost? And then how much does it cost per home? And then I guarantee, bro, it's not gonna be worth more than 18 billion. Camden's a relatively small city. It's not like Philly or anything like that. So I mean,
you can fix it all up.
But that's what I'm saying though. But that's just Minnesota's a state. All right, so that state was $18 billion. All right, so, and I know our state.
In just one aspect of fraud.
In just one aspect. And then, look, and I know our state spends billions of dollars on everything.
That's it. Look, we got one more video. Let's pump out this last video real quick. Let's see what this one is. I forget what this one is. Let's check it out.
All right, check it out.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is a nice facility.
I am doing a story on Holiday Inns in the area, and I just wanted to ask a few questions.
And I'm going to have to ask that you either stop recording or leave.
Oh, it's by Elliott Human Services.
Yeah.
This company I know, they charge $42 per meal from the taxpayer. What do you do for work here?
It's private property, you're trespassing.
Okay. Will you keep saying that?
You're trespassing. So if they say you're trespassing, you have to leave or you're arrested.
My name is John Featherstone. I'm a former migrant shelter director in Massachusetts. I helped out in a couple different sites. Everything is free. I cannot stress the word everything is free. Everybody has a nice car. Most of them have nice cars. But when they have a doctor's appointment in Boston, or they have a immigration hearing in New Hampshire, you know, which is an hour and a half away, you think they use their own car? Nope. They say, oh, I need an Uber. I need a Lyft.
How much is given for rides for Uber and Lyft?
The amount of money that we would spend on Ubers and Lyfts was well in excess of $100,000 a month.
A month?
A month, yeah. You know, as good as Lyft and Uber had it, Amazon had it 10 times better.
And how's that? How did Amazon work into this?
Every day I would order tens of thousands of dollars worth of product from Amazon every single day, 7 days a week. One day I would do a huge diaper delivery. The next day I would do a formula delivery. The next day I would buy, toothbrushes and hair dryers and combs and strollers. Anything that they needed, they got.
Now, as I continued my way around the shelter, I noticed this school bus.
That is free daycare provided to the shelter.
Wow. Okay. So every day they take the kids to a daycare center?
No, they come there and provide daycare right on site there.
Oh, right on site.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? As the hotel got overtaken by migrant families, there was not enough capacity and there were fights breaking out over washers and dryers. So the state contracted this company to come in 5 days a week and do everybody's laundry. You put your laundry out by 7 o'clock, it's back by 5 o'clock, and it all comes back folded in these nice bags, and it's free, or the taxpayers of Massachusetts pay for it. And, you know, the media wants to make it sound like most of the residents are escaping, you know, the horrors of Haiti. But they go, well, you know, I was in Chile for 10 years after the earthquake in Haiti. And you're like, what? So you didn't leave Haiti like this year? No, I left 10 years ago and I went to Chile. And then they made us work. So then we went to Brazil and we were content in Brazil. And then I'm like, well, why'd you come to America? Well, we came to America because Joe Biden told us everything.
Everything was free. How about that, bro? I mean, you know, look, it just keeps adding up, Nate. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
No, I remember that scandal when all the Holiday Inns.
It was an older one.
Yeah, it was older ones, but still, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And for how long? Like, for how long were they going? I'm curious to that. All right, so for how long are they staying there? Is it like a limit? They're like, okay, after a few months, now you have to get your own job, you get your own place. You got to do what every other immigrant group has done over the past. Or it's like, can they just stay there indefinitely? I don't.
Well, as long as Biden was allowing them, I doubt Trump is still letting them do it. But once again, have we seen the accountability yet? That's the question.
No, I mean, there's probably technically there's probably nothing illegal about it. I mean, there's probably, you know, laws are written by criminals anyway. But, like, you know, they probably didn't, you know, break any laws by, you know, it's like, no, they're using that. They appropriated.
I don't think the immigrants are breaking the laws, minus the fact that they came here illegally anyway. But Joe Biden opened the door and let them in. You know, my question is, who are the people writing these policies that are clearly fraudulent, all right, that should not be allowed anywhere near government?
No.
If that's what you're going to do, you should not have a place in government.
No.
You know, it's very frustrating when you're watching all these people come here illegally, getting all this free stuff while we're over here busting our ass every day just to try to get food on the table, you know, and they're getting
let's just say the Americans that are struggling in the hood or the projects or whatever, they ain't getting all that free shit. All right, they're not getting them free cars. They're not getting $100,000 worth of. If they have a job, they have to spend their own money, their own Uber money, their own Lyft money to get there. All right, so we know people that have to do that to get to their work. All right, I don't see the government footing the bill. If the government was footing the bill for my boys to make sure they could get to work, they'd have to spend their money, half their check on fucking Ubers and Lyfts. You know what? Hey, fuck that. I'd rather be spent there than. Sorry,
at least spending on Americans,
who are not Americans,
especially Americans trying to do the right thing and be contributing.
I'd rather see my boys' Uber bills get paid for. You know what I mean? My boys' laundry gets done. Like, no, I don't like that. That's what I don't like. Look, I don't mind helping people. You know, I like helping people, but like, no, I think we should help ourselves first.
And that's it. That right there is the whole thing.
That's the main thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You can't pour from an empty cup. All right, everybody knows that. Everybody understands that saying. All right. Now, if you want to say that our cup is unlimited because we just print money willy-nilly for anything, then hey.
But once again, we're not helping the people that are here.
This whole thing and this whole time too. Like, fuck, F it. You might as well get what you can. It's America, baby. Steal something.
I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. Look, I just want people to contribute, and that's any people, right? It doesn't matter, but you can't come here invited by a senile old man who happened to be president, you know, and just get all types of you know, free stuff while everybody else is struggling. Even the people that were getting the help to begin with.
Yeah, we don't blame him. Know? I don't blame him.
And this is just like this is like the lady in Chicago, right? We mentioned it earlier. The black lady is always getting up at those city council meetings and going ham on every single one of those commissioners up there because we're all being replaced.
Yeah, we're being replaced. And that's what the people in Chicago were complaining about at the time because the migrants at the time were getting everything that they wanted. Everything was for free. And that was one of the things that she was complaining about. Like, look, they're getting everything for free. We've been living here forever. We don't get none of that.
Yeah.
We don't see nothing. We struggling out here.
All right, well, listen, let's take this last break here, and then we're going to come into segment 3. Hammer 3.
Oh, Hammer 3. There you go.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
All right, everybody. So we're back, and we're moving to Hammer 3. And you know what, Nate? It's time to unite, brother, because we've just seen all the things that we've spoke about this whole, the previous segments here, right? All the fraud, all the abuse, everything that's going on our side. All right, over here on the right, the side that cares about America. All right, we've been watching this fracture form. Okay, right. The MAGA Civil War is what they want to say, and I don't want to get too much into it because I'm not trying to bring all that. Okay, however, a generalized statement, you're seeing a lot of the people that are of the old regime, the uniparties and whatever else, and the very, very pro-Israel side. And then you have another group who are just, hey, look, I think we should be more focused on Americans, right? And you're watching this fracture. People are calling for others to be canceled and all this. We have to find a way to come back together. Or, look, Tim Pool said it, bro. We're going to get cooked in the midterms, and you got to agree with that sentiment, right? I mean, right now, bro, people are losing favor, whether you want to believe it or not, right? I mean, I think that's a sentiment that's going through the right. So JD Vance was over at AmFest, and we got a clip from him. I think he did a really good job trying to pull everything together. Go ahead, D-Dubs. Let's play JD Vance.
Do you want more prosecutions? Great. So do we. Donald Trump and I have a list of better judges and prosecutors to enact swifter justice. So join us in the fight against the stupid Senate rules to stand in their way. Do you want faster deportations? So go to ice.gov/join because we're building an army of patriots and we need good people who care about the country to help us secure the border and do it even faster. Do you want rents to keep dropping and wages to keep rising as they have over the last few months? Then mobilize with us. Don't hand power back to the people who tanked the economy in the first place. Join the America First movement, and you will always have a place on our great team.
So, what do you think about JD's message there, buddy?
I forget what I throw my hands up for. When? Oh yeah, all the prosecutions. All the when. All right, these judges and all these prosecutors are gonna get in. All right, and they're going to do all these swift and take out all these people with all these prosecutions on this list. When?
Well, where I'm sitting at with this is I agree with you, but where I'm sitting at is we have to have something. Right now, we just lost, right? We got cooked in this past November. People are still feeling that, all right? Yeah. We're all still feeling that. And instead of coming together, we're at each other's throats, okay?
Charlie Kirk's assassination really had a huge. That right there is probably going to be what happened. That's where they're going to say the Fisher started.
And I would agree, but it bled into November, right? I mean, that's what it is. And if we don't find a way to put this back together, midterms are going to be just as disastrous.
I found that odd, where it's like, that was a catalyzing event that could have united the right and, could have got a lot.
I thought it did, bro. I thought it did. And then I just watch it continue to
didn't. The results said otherwise. Ooh. So Well, I don't know. That was odd, but yeah, no, and that has just fractured. That has created that fracture, like you said. The MAGA, the Israel first. I'm not gonna say Israel first. They're not Israel first, but they're definitely pro-Israel. But it's just like
so I would describe
like the
it
Ben Shapiro versus like the Tucker Carlsons. It's like
a huge thing, right?
Yeah,
Those are two of our biggest
basically
names, and they're going at each other.
Yeah. Again, and that I probably side more with Tucker on that. I gotta be honest. It's just like, no, it's look, we are America first. America. I don't say America first, America only.
So my point is, Nate, I don't want to go into that issue though, right? Because I want to look, how can we piggyback off of this to find a way to come back together?
I just
because we need a win.
I feel like
we need a win to bring us back together. Winning cures everything. We need a win. How can we find this win?
Just when we're having our own elections, stop bringing up other countries. That was one thing I would mention to you. If we ever whenever we were talking about politics or whatever have you for your campaign, it's just like because we follow global international politics or whatever or national politics. Look, leave that stuff out of it. I focus on Jersey. Look, we're running a Jersey election, so focus on New Jersey. I focus on what New Jersey wants to hear. I just feel like, regardless of your side, if the right wants to come together, look, focus on what's the election for. It's for America. Unfortunately, guys, let's make sure, let's make sure that they come first. If you want to claim that Israel's an ally and all those other things, look, let's just put that. Yes, of course. Don't focus on that right now. Just focus on America. All right. We have other great allies as well. All right.
So I'm more in this vein, right?
Either, but either way, but you know what I mean.
I know. It's so hard to
focus on us. We don't want to talk about that right now. Let's just focus on us.
And that's it, right? So I'm looking like, all right, well, look, we know that we just had all these issues with the elections here, right? We know that we did. All right, whether it was illegals voting, whether it's the mail-in ballots, the issues with that, whether it's just a voting fraud, we need to clean that up. And this is what Jack Brangan keeps bringing up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to piggyback right on him. That is a win that we need in order to continue this fight. We need to see Donald Trump come out with an executive order that says all states have to feed their ballots through the or their database through the SAVE database.
I don't. That's too much in the weeds for me. But look, that's like an issue. But that's an issue that the right can't get behind as far as voter ID laws, things like that. No, they're not racist. I'm sorry, guys. They're more than capable of getting their IDs. They're smart enough to get their IDs. I think racist is to suggest otherwise. But no, see, look, now that is something that no matter who you that international shit on the right, leave that to the side. Focus on the national. That's a topic that people can get behind. Regardless of how you feel in other international stuff, that is a domestic policy that should be focused upon for everybody. Not just the right. Not just the right.
No, you're absolutely correct.
You should want your elections to be clear and fair and free and all of those great things. If you can't even guarantee that that's who they say that, like when I went up there to vote here in New Jersey, I could have said that was my neighbor's name. They would have never known. As long as I was picking somebody's name who was registered in this district.
Yep, your name and your address. That's all they ask for.
That's it.
And that's ridiculous. And I think that because look, one of the things that I like to say right now, everybody says that it has to start from the bottom up, right? Everybody says it. Okay, I agree, but that's only half correct. Because what good is bottom up if you're going to get cheated out of your elections, or you can't trust your elections, or whatever it is? It has to start from the top down, bottom up, and meet in the middle. I mean, that's how I'm looking at this. And we need to start coming up with ways to get away from the things that divide us and come back to the things that bring us back together. Because look, we are fighting the left and the socialism and the communism and the whatever kind of crazy stuff they're working on over there.
It's hard. Like I said, I don't want to pick on one side or the other, but it's easier to pick on the Democrats now, just because, like I said, they don't know what a girl is. That's hard.
As soon as they said men can get pregnant and there's guidelines, the CDC releases guidelines for male breastfeeding. I can't take them seriously anymore.
Yeah, come on,
I can't take them seriously anymore.
Guys, that's literally reaching like idiocracy levels.
Yeah.
It
Mondo.
is.
Mondo, what plants crave.
You
caught that?
Have you tried water? This guy's a genius.
Damon Gallo's popping up in the comment section saying that's why we have to run again. Me and Jack Brangan.
Yeah, see, there you go. Where do you see that? I can see that somewhere.
You hit chat down the bottom right.
Hey, there we go. Technology.
Hey,
Welcome to
D-Dub's put a
it's
real
about to
thing
be
on the screen
26.
there.
Nate, welcome on. There you go. Yeah, that's right. There you go. See, now I see that.
No, 100% though, bro. I mean, look, we have to figure out ways to bring us back together, brother. And that's one that I think we can get behind. But that has to come from Trump. Because, you know, look, right now, Damon is out, you know, listening to all the GOPs, the candidates running for the New Jersey State GOP top brass, right? Like the head of the GOP. We need to elect the right people. So I hope he paid close attention. I hope he got every single one of their answers on video, because we need to know who's out there and who we want to be in there. And then we can start advocating for that person, because it has to be grassroots from the bottom, but he's still got to make some decision to come down from the top.
Because that'll help. Like, and I think something of that. Like, I don't know if you do it by executive order. Because that's the thing, because the states, I don't know, but the Constitution does say like the states are supposed to handle the elections. So like, I don't know the legality of all that. I don't see why. I genuinely don't see why. I know they hide behind the race. Like, look, there's like trying to play devil's advocate on, okay, well, why don't you want there to be voter ID laws? The whole idea that black or brown people can't get their IDs, if they're American, they can get it and they know how to get it. That's not the issue. Okay, that's not the issue. So why do you really want no IDs? Seems to me like you want people who aren't allowed to vote. That'd be the only other reason to not have it. I can't think of it. I'm trying to play devil's advocate. What would be another good reason to not have no voter ID laws? It's just like, unless you just want to encourage fraud, I don't feel like there's any other good reason. Like I said, they hide behind the racism.
About fraud all day, bro. Clearly, they want to encourage fraud. I mean, I don't know.
From what we've been seeing all day, yeah, no, you ain't lying. Apparently, fraud is a status quo or a standard operating procedure. You know,
that's it. Oh, by the way, Damon's also saying that if anybody's running, you know, for any type of campaign, Nate Thurber is the treasurer that you're looking for.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You know, don't count my chickens before they hatch yet. All right, but we'll see. Yeah, I can do it. You know.
Right. Look, man, we're trying to build a coalition out here, right? We're trying to do things the right way. We want to make the change. We literally want to make the change, because what's the point in getting out there and making all the money if you still have to live behind a wall? You know, a giant fence like Nancy Pelosi out there in the middle of San Francisco with all the homeless people and drug addicts running all around.
Well, it looked like a zombie apocalypse out there, they said, bro. I don't know. But look, Kensington and Allegheny ain't good neither.
No, Kensington is a nightmare.
Yeah,
you've seen the videos of them just hunched over.
Yeah, it's just laid out. It's bad. Oh, and sorry, Jack Brangan, they're not coming from Venezuela. I know they were saying that last week. I was listening. Sorry, but I got to disagree with that. But,
the drugs coming from Venezuela?
The fentanyl's not coming from Venezuela. That's not the route that it's taking.
Where do you think it's going? You think it's coming from Mexico or Canada?
Wouldn't be surprised. More of it probably Mexico. But you know what though? I bet you. So they put so much effort at the Mexican border. You know, you probably could have just strolled across Canada. Like,
see, that's where I'm kind of going to right now as well.
Just walk right across, hey. You know,
hey, got some French fries and gravy and some fentanyl, hey.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I know what China's still like the biggest producer of it, I believe, or manufacturer. Well, they manufacture everything, so that's not a fucking shock. So man, will they get it through via Canada, Mexico? I'd say probably still the biggest would be Mexico.
That's why you hear me, man. Look, I'd love to see all our troops come home and invade Mexico. You know, I mean, let's clean that up.
Don't invade nobody. Look, if we're going to do that, then we got to establish the American empire, like for real. And I want everything. They're talking about Canada and Greenland. So we're looking at like the wrap up of 2025, all the shit that's happened in 2025, and we almost forgot about Greenland and Canada. What was that back in like February? I think.
Yeah, January or something, right after we got in.
You know what? We might as well just go all out American empire. Let's take them. I want to go from Greenland all the way down to Argentina and Chile. I want it all. We might as well.
You better be careful. That sounds like a globalist agenda right there.
Instead of having everybody run to America, let's have America run to them or roll to them in tanks, baby. No, I don't advocate for any of that. I don't want no wars. All right, I don't want
no
any
new wars. We don't want them.
no
we don't want the
wars.
wars.
No wars.
We don't want the wars. All right. The people voted for Trump. No new wars. That was a big selling point.
Yeah, and then we over here bombing Iran. Now we're bombing Venezuela. We're taking oil takers. We're bombing ships or boats.
I did hear that that's a debt that's being owed that they didn't pay on, which is why we're taking. I don't know. I didn't look enough into that. I got to go back and search. But yeah, look, man, I don't want to bomb anybody, bro. I want to bring our military home. I want to focus right here at home. We got too many problems.
Look, we just bullying. As far as taking their oil, bro, we just bullying them. Let's be honest. Like, yeah, that's my. Like, if we're just trying to stuff like that's my oil. Yeah, you thought it was your oil. That's mine. Let me get to what you got on my oil, homie. We come over here like Debo. We're over there like Debo, right? We got our own theme song.
Give me that chain.
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck mine in. Ready? Wow.
When I put it inside the little box next to him, that's funny. Yeah,
right. They had the spot. Yeah, see, you gotta have your spots. You know where to put it. That's why you gotta change your routes. I don't know what you're doing. Especially them fishermen.
Well, I brought that up when I was with Jack too, the Venezuela thing, because we looked it up, right? And it's like 1,500, 2,000 miles.
Yeah. They're not coming on a speedboat. Unless, look, I guess technically they could they've carried enough gasoline. I guess technically they could. Let's be honest. Okay, they could make that trip. Unless they got to refuel for one, they would have to. So they had to bring enough fuel. Technically they could. I don't believe it. I don't.
Well, such is life, brother. We'll see. We'll just have to figure it all out here and see where it goes. Look, all I'm saying is, man, I want Trump to continue doing what he's doing, but I would like more focus at home. We're going to have to see significant growth or something over the next 6 months to re-energize our base, because the Dems feel much more energized than we do anymore, man. Like, look, they just cooked this in November.
25. But, I want to see unity across the board. I want to see unity across the board, Republicans, Democrats, Americans.
I would love to see that too, but the divide is so far.
The divide is wild. I know, if they should just, I feel like they're relying on, they're trying to rely on the illegal vote. I don't want to say that without any knowledge, but it's just like, having safe elections and having those IDs, I don't think is crazy. Okay, it's not really. I think it's something everybody should be able to get behind. I just don't understand why. I just think it's ideological. Like I'm a Democrat. I'm supposed to say no to the voter ID laws. I'm just trying to think of things, just like to shore things up, to get faith back in our institutions. That's essentially what both sides want.
I would tell you. So what JD Vance said also in that first clip about the judges and the prosecutors we got one more clip. Play that last clip, D-Dubs. This is going to lead right into it. Play that last clip.
I think the big story of the year for us was exposing the government subcontracting DEI fraud, and I wore that ridiculous wig, and I met with these people that were getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Treasury and SBA, and they told me that none of the money goes to minorities. It just goes to line their pockets. So even if you support these DEI, even if you think, it should go to the Native Americans, it doesn't go to the Native Americans. We went to California and interviewed the Native Americans, and they want all these people to go to jail.
There's only so much we can do as journalists.
Yes.
We can expose it all day long, but if nothing gets done, what are we doing?
It actually might undermine the credibility of your journalism if nothing happens. So I think it's important for us to try to hold the people to account that hold them accountable. My vision for 2026 is we need arrests. We need people to go to prison if they break. By the way, I would go to prison if I did this. So the year in review next year, our work will lead to arrests. And if it doesn't lead to arrests, I'm going to investigate the prosecutors themselves.
That last line was worth the whole clip. No. All right. If it doesn't lead to arrest, I'm going to investigate the prosecutors themselves. That's what we need. We need to get these dirty people caught on camera spilling the beans and then put them in jail.
That would be good. Like, look, I love James O'Keefe, North Jersey in the house.
North Jersey.
I banged with all his stuff, and we were Project Veritas. Now it's OMG Media, whatever. No, I think he's great, and he's absolutely right. All right, and if they're not like all the reporting that he has done, all the stuff from the Pfizer's, so where he was great during COVID and all that stuff, nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened, and he's right. Like, look, 2026, supposed to hold those accountable. JD Vance was just talking about we're getting all these new prosecutors and judges in. Well, and then now James O'Keefe is saying that. And like, hey, those are good signs. If you want to have faith back in institutions, you got to see some arrests. The illegality is going on. They need to be arrested, not bombed, Damon. All right. We don't know what's on those coke boats, Damon. Right. They need to go through due process. All right. If you believe in the Constitution and the court of law, all right, you don't just go bombing around. Oh, yeah, now we got some intelligence. Let's go bomb them. How'd that work with our drone program over the past, a few administrations? Yeah. How'd that go? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Obama in chief.
Obama, Bush, Trump, they all Biden. Trump again, the bombs never stop.
I mean, look, you're not wrong, bro. I want to see, but that's it, right? Because it's number one, voter integrity. Very, very important. Okay. If we don't have free and fair elections, we're never going to get anything done. We're never going to believe the system. We're never going to have trust back in the system. Okay. Secondly, our judicial system. We're watching Trump try to do things, right? I'm going to do this. And then some road judge comes out of nowhere and says, no, you're not. Oh, okay, fine. I'm going to do this. Yeah. And then some road judge comes out and said, nope, sorry, no, you're not. And everything has to go to the Supreme Court. Everything. I want the judges to do their damn job, prosecute criminals, and stay the hell out of everything else.
See, now that's one thing about our judicial system. Like, I guess all the judges are appointed. Like, is there no merit system that we could put in place to have judges put in there? Because I think, all you need is a vacancy. And then whoever just happens to be in power at that time can now fill it in. Just like what they always talk about with the Supreme Courts and all that. Like, oh, Trump's going to be able to get, stack it with conservatives now. Or people were worried Obama was going to stack it with, liberals prior to that. It's just like, well, I feel like there could be a better way to decide judges. Because I feel like if you're just going to keep on doing that, you're going to have rogue judges that are going to be like, oh, no, we're going to shut that down. Oh, you think you are going to? Now, you can say, oh, that's part of, our checks and balances. But, if they're just doing it for political reasons, all right, because they're trying to
anything's being done for nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. All because they're trying to support their own political party, which our founding fathers were not fond of. I believe George Washington was not a part of any political party because he was not a fan of them. Because then people were going to they feared that people would become more loyal to their party than they would America. Lo and behold, here we are, 250 some odd years later. Are we at 250 yet?
We're about to be 250.
Yeah, about 250, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. And it's exactly
and that's where I'm at. So, look, we have to fix up the judicial system and election integrity. And, if they don't want to start doing their job, James O'Keefe, stick your citizen journalism on them, bro. And let's go ahead, man, because we all, the whole theme of today's show, accountability, bro. We just want it. We're tired. We're tired of rules for thee and not for me. We're tired of all the bullshit. You know what I mean? We are ready for a change. We're ready to go back to freedom and prosperity and across the boards. And maybe if we could get back to that, we wouldn't have such a political divide in this country.
No, absolutely.
And media, you hit media as well. I mean, that's another huge issue too that we're going to have to tackle. But election integrity and judicial systems, those are two big ones.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So, and once again, it all just comes back to trying to build the unity, right? It's time to unite again, bro, and overthrow this nonsense.
That's the plan, man. That's the plan. But peace through strength. That's what Damon says. He's ready for the ministry.
Keep blowing up them boats.
Ready to ministry of love or ministry of war. Was it? No, it's the ministry of peace. That's what they did. That's 1984. Damon, you'd be a perfect administrator at the Ministry of Peace.
Yeah, and the Ministry of Truth, right? Wasn't that Orwell?
That was more the media. Like Ministry of Truth was media. I know Ministry of Love is where they tortured people. I'm pretty sure Ministry of Peace. Everything was actually was for war. I think there's another ministry. I haven't read it in a while. But obviously they were all complete opposites. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Damon, you would definitely be working with Big Brother with that.
Damon, we love you, brother, the Godfather.
Yeah, Dame.
If anybody hasn't had a chance to check out that,
I'm a wolf. I'm a wolf, and you need to stop being a sheep. Listening to
if anybody hasn't had a chance to check out that Nick Shirley video, I definitely recommend going and watching that, man. It'll blow your mind with the stuff that he's uncovering. And, you know, we all just need to do it, bro. We need more people like that. You know, they want to go out there and really want to make the difference, make the change, you know, and that are willing to do it, right? Because like we said earlier, man, it takes guts to get out there and do that. It takes guts to come on here and talk and share your opinions and, you know, be truth tellers, bro, because at the end of the day, we need more truth tellers.
No. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinion of sheep.
Well, there you go, Damon. Write that down.
So speak your truth, you know, no matter what. That's the main thing. All right, speak out. Don't be silent.
And don't be afraid to change your views, man. If you learn something different or whatever, right? Things happen. You know what I mean? We're constantly shifting. Don't be rigid. You know, but we need more people to continue to find that courage and speak up. And as you know, look, if you're into it, contact James O'Keefe. Get yourself a little button cam and go out there and get them. You know, because that's what we need, man. We need more people to continue to expose all this stuff that's going on, bro. Bring the darkness to light, you know, and that's how we make the difference. That's how we make the change, and that's how we unite.
That's right.
There you go, Damon Galdo. The only thing needed, necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And you're not wrong, Damon.
Edmund Burke. Well done.
You're not wrong. Well done. But all right, D-Dubs, let's go ahead and we'll take this last break, and then we'll come into the Patriot and the Loser.
Yeah, let's go.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everybody, we are back. Let's go. D-Dubs, let's go ahead and roll the Patriot of the Week. Let's see who this week's winner is.
The Jersey Shore podcast presents this week's Patriot Award. It goes to Damon, the Godfather, Galdo.
Well done, Dane. Why am I the only one on here? We don't need no dead air.
Am I here? Do you see me? There I am.
Oh, there you go. I'm about to say, I'll keep talking.
That's all right. Look, we love Damon around here.
Yeah.
All right. You know, Damon is building a coalition. He is in Burlington, Gloucester, Camden. It doesn't matter. He's all over the place. He's trying to do everything he can to build something. He's talking to every single candidate. He's helping push it, move the needle. And, you know, we need to continue that. We need more people like Damon in this movement. And, you know, we appreciate him over here. I'm sitting in the seat right now on a chair on the show. You know what I mean?
No.
You know, so
I really appreciate him getting us involved with all this, man. And Damon's a great guy. He can be Patriot of the Week any week. He really could, man. He loves his family. He loves his country. And, he is building a coalition, like you said. Getting to know him, bro. So watching him move, watching him talk to people and just talking, setting this up, setting that up. No, man, he gets shit done. And that's why, man, anybody, man, support him if you can.
Absolutely. You know, he's got to stop blowing up them Coke boats, though. But I mean, you know, it's all right. He's doing great. We love him.
That's all right.
All right, let's.
Look, that's an international issue. We don't got to worry about that.
We ain't worry about that. We ain't Jersey only. Jersey only.
Don't worry about America. Now you're welcome, Damon. Thank you for allowing us to do this for you, man.
Yeah, hope we did you justice over here, buddy. That's all I can say.
That's all, man. We're just having fun.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the loser.
Oh yeah, the loser. Hey, not me. Get me off of there. Hey, I'm not the loser.
Losers! 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 Ah, shut up!
You know, I hate having to put the American taxpayer up there with the South Park and the whole thing. But after everything that we saw today going on, they are robbing us blind.
No, everything, everywhere. Not just them in particular, but everywhere, anything. You know, the entire 2025, you know, it's a good way to end 2025. But unfortunately, and we are talking about losers, and we are pointing the fingers at all of us. Because no, we have nothing else but to look in the mirror. It is our fault. The things are the way they are. That the taxpayers, that we are the losers. That our money is going here and there. Because look, we don't hold them accountable. We're all busy. We all are busy. We all have things to do every single day. They keep us busy on the farm, so we don't have enough time to organize and rise up and do what we need to do, or have a march. We were talking about earlier, Pistol.
Million Man March right on Trent, and I think we need it.
But no, in the end, no, we are the ones that are losing. And unless we hold people accountable, unless we go into 2026 righting this ship and saying no, we're going to have our own independent journalists. We're going to be out there exposing everything that we can and holding people accountable. If we need to do a march, I'll be out there. I'll take a day off. All right, let's go. Anything.
So anybody that can organize that, bro, you let us know.
I don't know about that, but at the end of the day, look, their power comes from our acquiescence. All right, they only have power because we give it to them. As a people, we have the numbers. All right, there's 9-10 million people here in New Jersey. How many people are up there in Trenton? Well, we got 80 people in the state assembly and stuff. There's millions of us. We have the numbers. All right, it's through our acquiescence. If we say no more, nonviolent noncompliance, all right, we hold them accountable for what they do. That's how we make this place a better world to live in.
Agreed, my brother. Agreed. And that's exactly where I'm at as well. You know, we'll just keep doing the shows here, man. We'll keep trying to push it, keep trying to do what we can do. Get Damon Galdo to organize a Million Man March, we'll stroll right up there, right to the front door.
Yeah, right in the front line. Show them how it's done.
Show them how it's done.
Still there.
Waving flags. I'm ready, bro.
Let's go.
All right, man. Well, look, bro, I appreciate you coming on here. We saved Damon's bacon today, you know, while he was out there politicking.
Hey, look. We always ready in the pinch, man. We always ready, especially on Mondays. I ain't got my kids, so we good. So, but you know what I mean?
I got a dub tomorrow, but such is life. Yeah.
Nah, bro, you got plenty of time to sleep. But no, whenever you in the pinch, Dane, we got you. It ain't nothing to it. I had fun, man. Have fun with talking to you, Pistol.
Nate, I had a blast, bro.
We need to do more psych reports. Ain't that right, Dane?
Well, let's see, man. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm sure we could get into a bunch of different things. This one was kind of, you know, we didn't hit the conspiracies or any of that stuff, bro. You know, I'm ready for those ones, you know. You know, it gets you thinking. But listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining in today. Make sure you continue to check out the Jersey Shore podcast every Monday and Friday. The Pulse coming on every Wednesday, and Conservative Corner and Alexandria Levine Live. And, you know, look, man, have a happy New Year's. Merry Christmas to you, and we'll see you guys next time.
That's right. Take care.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Yeah. From the job site, dust house to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up, while suits in DC say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work, built by hands. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes, while Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain. I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town, rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair, I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot, and tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for work, and not another plan. Not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands, for Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan, let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way, I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand, cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. While the old guard keeps playing the same old game. But we're done with waiting, done with excuses. It's time for a man who knows how to do this. I build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, 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 Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Jersey Shore podcast. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the hammer Damon Galdo talked about, then send the Jersey Shore podcast to others. The hammer also looks forward to your comments during